Hey, what's going on, guys? I am Pro Cousin from Two Wild Cousins here, and today in this video I will be talking about some changes within champions' abilities and champion playstyles that affected the game on League of Legends Wild Rift. And the champions' differences are regarding to League of Legends PC, of course. Now, what I mean with differences is the core differences, so like in detail what the differences are and what these differences can bring and can't bring and what they take away from these champions. Now today I will be talking about three champions. First one is Ashe, second one is Misfortune, and the third one is Vayne. And we also have a general change which has effect on Vayne, one of Vayne's abilities. So that's why Vayne is also included in this part 1 video of the champion differences. Now there will also be a part 2 video about this, which will be up on our channel soon. So make sure you subscribe and leave a like if you want to see more of this stuff. And we will give you everything, like on gameplay, we will give you instructional videos, we will give you jungle paths, we will give you everything so that you can start cleanly and as informative to this Wild Rift release and Wild Rift game as you can. Now let's get right into it. We will start with Ashe. Now first of all I want to say that these three champions all are AD carries, and in League of Legends AD carries are very important as the leaders of the team, the most damage dealers, and the ones that carry the team within a 1v9 position. Now, let's begin with Ashe. Ashe's Enchanted Crystal Arrow, which is her ultimate, can now be controlled like Yuumi's Prowling Projectile, with the turning circle more similar to Sion's Unstoppable Onslaught. Now, let's take this up one by one, because I would assume that you would be thinking about Yuumi's Prowling Projectile. What the hell is a Prowling Projectile and who is Yuumi? So we will talk about this step by step with you. Now let's start with Ashe's Enchanted Crystal Arrow, which is her ultimate, which is a stationary arrow on PC, of course, which is a stationary arrow that just flies globally everywhere you want it to go. So you press a direction and it goes that way until it flies off the map and it's gone. Now this arrow has a stun, which the duration of the stun is increased when the distance from you as Ashe and the enemy is bigger. So how bigger the distance, how more you get stunned. Now let's look at what they're saying. Can now be controlled, so they have changed it. It's not stationary, but it can be controlled on Wild Rift, like Yuumi's Prowling Projectile. Now Yuumi is a champion on PC League of Legends, which has an ability that you can cast and you can play around with it, so it has a very smooth turning circle and he can just go left, right and hit people. Now, they've made it like you can control it like that, so it means, because on PC you were always giving the direction of the Prowling Projectile with your mouse, but now on Wild Rift it's of course mobile. On mobile it will be focused on joysticks, so you will be controlling the arrow with your joysticks. But it says, with a turning circle more similar to Sion's Unstoppable Onslaught. Now what this means is that the turning circle isn't like Yuumi's Prowling Projectile, it is Sion's ultimate. Sion's ultimate has a very rough and very big turning circle, and it's very difficult to give directions to him. Once you go right, it's very difficult to go back left. Now what they have done is give it the controls of Yuumi, but also the turn circle of Sion, which made the arrow way more heavier and way more difficult to play around with it. So you can go right, you can go to the left, but it's very difficult to go instant direction. So when you go right, you can't just change it up to left, and this means that it will have an effect on the hit ratio. But I think Riot has done this because they want the arrow to hit more targets. They want the 10 to 15 minutes of matches. Now, and to get that, they need this arrow to hit more targets, because the stun is very important. Now that's for Ashe. I don't think on lane wise and champion wise many things will change, because she has already a very good kit, and this addition will make her even stronger. Of course not OP overpowered, but it will make her stronger. Now let's get to our second champion, which is Misfortune's Double Up. It's an ability that has a bullet shooting out of her gun, and the bullet has a chance to rebound from the enemy target you're shooting at, so it can be a minion, enemy minion, an enemy champion, or even jungle camp. It has the chance to rebound off that target within the rebound distance onto another enemy target. And with that rebound, the rebound does more damage. So the rebound bullet does more damage than the actual impact of the bullet. This ability has been changed from a unit targeted to a direction targeted ability. Now what this means is this ability was a point to click. So you were aiming with your mouse onto an enemy target, you pressed on the ability and it shot a bullet. But now it's a skill shot, so you need to aim it, you need to give it directions, and you need to pray that it hits an enemy target so that it rebounds off the enemy target onto another enemy target. Now this will have a very big impact on this champion, as this champion is really focused on poking. It's a really poke heavy champion, and this will make her less poke heavy. Now this champion isn't so strong in early game. She's also very strong with poking, but never strong with all that auto attacks in early game or even late game. She's more focused on her abilities. Now this will really impact her negatively, as she will be played less and she will be less effective than other champions on the roster, like Ashe. We have seen earlier in League of Legends PC meta that Miss Fortune can be a support. Now this was brought to us by Koreans. They brought us a meta where Miss Fortune could be a support. And I am thinking now, as a support main and a League of Legends PC player for years, that this Miss Fortune is very much capable to be a support, even more capable to be a support than an AD carry, because the carry potential, the poke potential is just gone with this change. Now let's look at the general change with abilities of champions. It is about passive abilities. I will explain passive abilities in a bit. Added actives to several previously passive only abilities, like for example Silver Bolts and Denting Blows. Now this means, now let's first look at passive abilities. What are passive abilities? Passive abilities are abilities where it's casting in the background. It has an advantage, it has an effect that you can't see or you can't turn on yourself. In the case of Silver Bolts, you can see it, but you can't turn it on. Once you have upgraded the ability, it just starts doing its thing and it will do it the whole game long. Now what they have done is adding actives to it, so you can actually press the ability to make it do something else. This is also done to make the games quicker. Now Silver Bolts, this ability, I will explain it because it is about Vayne, which is also here listed below. Vayne's Silver Bolts active grants attack speed for 3 attacks, and any Silver Bolt triggered during this time grants healing equal to the Silver Bolt damage done. This is also a lot of information to get in and process, but I will explain it one by one so you can get a clear vision of what they're meaning. This means that this ability of Vayne, which wasn't a passive ability, and the passive ability was stacking up bolts. It was going from 1, 2, 3, and the 4th hit on the 3rd bolt, so it must have 3 stacks. The 4th hit had bonus true damage and bonus healing for Vayne. They've added attack speed for 3 attacks. So you've got attack speed for 3 attacks, which is made for the 3 attacks that you can get with the passive. So it is actually made for you to proc the passive way earlier, so you can really poke the people out of lane. Now, Vayne is one of the best AD carries in the game, but it's very mechanic heavy champion. It's very difficult to play her, and because of this, I think people will really enjoy playing Vayne, but they will have to learn the champion first. This change is a huge change for Vayne, and it makes her very strong, and even stronger than she is. And this is why I think the meta will be around Vayne. Of course, people won't be able to play Vayne right away. You know, that's a very problem, but people work around it. People will walk around it, they will learn the mechanics, they will play Vayne, they will be better at Vayne, and they will be unstoppable, because Vayne is made to be a 1v5 champion. Vayne is a very attack speed heavy and very healing heavy champion, with a very mobility set of abilities. So she's very mobile, because she can tumble around, she can be invisible with her ultimate, and she is quick. And this all works in the play with this attack speed for 3 attacks and the healing from the Silver Bolts triggered. Now this will make Vayne even stronger, as I said, and people will be looking to play her in bot lane as an AD carry, because she is really a champion which can 1v5 if you really know how to play her. But of course, mobile has joystick problems, you know, joystick difficulties, which PC doesn't have, so it will be very difficult to do the same mechanics and same plays as PC. But I am sure that people will play Vayne a lot because she is just very strong, and believe me, she is overpowered with this one change, and I think there will be a nerf upcoming for Vayne after seeing the results that Riot have brought to the game with just this change. Now, to clarify, these changes are all made to make Wild Rift a very fast-paced game, so it has to be a 10 to 15 minute matches, and this is why they already have announced so many changes to the map, to the champions, and to jungle, to make the game even more fast-paced. Now, this was the part 1 of the champions detailed explanation of the differences between League of Legends PC and League of Legends Wild Rift. Now I want to close it off by saying that you guys hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, let us know what you want to see, what you want to see better from us, and of course we will come back with more videos like gameplay, part 2 of this video, more informational videos, so you guys are on track with League of Legends Wild Rift, and you guys will have the best of starts to one of the most exciting mobile games that will be releasing in a short time. Now, I'll see you guys later. This was Pro Cousin from Two Wild Cousins, and see ya.